Hello, everybody, welcome. Rosa Psych Investigator, hello, everybody, welcome. Rosa Psych Investigator. So, before I forget, let's do the protection. I'd like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle, I step into it, I feel protected, I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources. Let it create the good and all the good, and so it is. All right. So I'm doing again lately I've been trying experimenting. I think it's working. This new format, I guess, where I focus on one topic or one and a half, let's say. So a lot of people asked me wanted to find out about the George Santos pardon. I feel like I looked into it quickly, but I guess not, because uh, I don't think I posted about it, but I don't think I did a reading about it. And I remember thinking it was just that Trump, it's a nephew to us, right? It's like I'm going to indict not the lawmakers, the law enforcement professionals, the people that indicted me. I'm gonna indict them, and I am going to free the criminals, especially the criminals that do the types of crimes that I do. Now, I remember the thing about George Santos that there were some Russians involved in electing him, but I don't know if, I don't think it's really necessarily about Russians, but he's not Russian, right? So he's Brazilian. So, so I mean, I think he grew up here or he was born here, something. I don't remember exactly. Anyway, the point is, let's go straight to the question. Why has Trump pardoned George Santos? Why did he? This was done I think it happened on the day that right before the King's Day, no King's Day parade, right? And so I see that he was upset and he thought, you know what? If I pardon him, they will know that I am justice. I'm the one who determines the outcomes for people. Because if a person commits a crime, but they are my friend, they never go to jail. That's the message that I want the public to know, and that I want people who commit crimes on my behalf to know as well. Okay. So it's a big FU. Now, is there another? What is it? I see that George Santos was always supportive of him. Remember when he was in Congress? And then, okay, because I think remember he was elected right as Trump was leaving. So, okay, so then, but it's saying, yes, he wants to free the Republicans, especially the MAGA Republicans that supported him. And that's the message he wants to send to the Democrats, to the world. There is no such thing as justice. There is my will. Like it's the famous Louis XIV quote, "L'État, c'est moi." Like he said, "The state, I am the state. The state, that's right. The state, it's me. L'État, c'est moi." So I am the state. So the state. So that's the definition of an absolute monarchy, right? Louis XIV. So that's him. That's Trump today. That's what I'm about. That's really the reason I think it's that he's somebody who it's not saying it tells me really don't try to find it. There's nothing much deeper than this. It's a big FU to us. It's more about upsetting us than it is about pleasing, like doing something that he likes, right? And it's the message. Now, from now on, I am the king. Truly, it's a king-like thing to do, and he can get away with it. So I looked up the news just to to share it with you, and I'm going to share this with you in a little bit. That's going to lead to the next topic that I want to cover today, which is the shutdown. But it's the news is Mike Johnson saying, I don't have a problem with the pardon. Okay, let's see. Let me just share this with you, just because it's okay. So Speaker Johnson defends Trump's decision to commute Santos sentencing. So, and it's also a technicality, right? That it's not like he was pardoned, he was just freed, right? So so that's that. Okay. Now, I want to, before I get into this, actually, let me go into look what happens next. What happens to George Santos? What's going to happen next to is someone, I feel like someone said that he's going to get some kind of job by Trump. What is going to happen? What is Trump going to do here? He's so excited, George Santos is. And okay. And then I see that Trump, of course, didn't do it for free, right? He wants George Santos to be among the people who are going to do dirty work for him. So what happens next to George Santos? And the next, let's say the next 4 years, what happens to George Santos? So I see that he's going to go back to get involved in some sort of shady Republican money laundering politics. And then he's so it doesn't make sense because I feel like again, the price of the pardon is that he has to do something for Trump, and it means getting involved in the very shady side of politics. And then when the whole thing collapses again, he goes, I think he's arrested again because he goes back to doing illegal things. Now, I'm not saying that I don't know how do you say this? Like I don't know how much control he has. I think he could have said no. Let's just say I think there's a possibility he could say no, but I think he doesn't because it would mean he had to go get some regular job and like, but I still his mentality is like Trump's, right? I want to be a con man. I want to be somebody who lies to people, who pretends to be somebody I'm not. But there's something when I think of him is also like, in a way, pop music is about that. Like you create a character and you live out the character. But in the case of politicians like that, they add the fraud aspect, right? So still, I think that there is almost like a mental illness to this guy. Okay, so what happens to George Santos? Let's see what the cards say here about him. Oh, walking away. Oh, that's right. Is that could be the situation. Now, interesting. The page once. That's right. That's right. Because the page is so small. Okay, here, disappointment. That's right. Wow, look, poverty. Moving from so interesting. Moving on from this point, there's a lot of it. It doesn't seem very good for him. Okay. Older man, but could this be Trump? Stress, losses. Wow, remove. Okay. Removal. Yeah. Abroad. Okay, so it's saying that he still has to settle the scores. Like it's saying it's not actually good for him, this thing. But um okay, here is the man with money on the table. Could be the donor. Remember how this vision or the illusion stolen, okay, things change. So, and it's saying, he could still be charged. I still see him being arrested again and charged with this campaign finance violation. I think that's a federal crime, but there's something that he could be charged with in New York, state of New York, okay? Because that's right, he owes money. Remember how he owed money to the landlord or something like that? Remember, there was like he was a real like con man. So that's the story. Now let's go to Speaker Johnson. It's like, I mean, I don't think it's very controversial to say enough is like this is a bridge too far. But no, he doesn't say that, right? So Speaker Johnson defends Trump's decision to commute Santos sentencing. The president has the right in the Constitution for pardon and commutation, of course. We believe in redemption. This is a personal belief of mine, and I hope Mr. Santos makes the most of his second chance. Okay. So, so, all right, let's go. Okay, let's go to now. It's like, let's see here. What does Speaker Johnson, what the hell is he doing? Saying why is he saying, okay, why? This is anger. Okay. Making plans. Oh, wow. Painful ending. He knows that if he has to say it or he faces anger and he has to get something done. And there's an ending for him. Okay, exposing the theft. Wow. Crazy. Interesting. Interesting. Pretty negative here. So what is happening with Johnson? Speaker Johnson. Okay, offer secret knowledge. Blocked. Oh, this is the Epstein. Okay, money. Okay, snake. Okay, so okay, now got it. So let's go to what's going on with the government shutdown. Okay, what's going on with the government shutdown this week? So today is the 20th, Monday, 20th. Let's see if there's a chance that they could end this by the 27th. It's so interesting because when I look at here, just the visions, I see that Trump is like he's putting his feet down, like strongly tapping on the floor to the point where like he wants to crush people. It's like as if people were insects, right? Crushing and putting his feet down. And as he puts his feet down, then the ground collapses and he falls into the hole, like a hole on the ground that he right while the stumping creates a hole and then he falls down. He falls into it and just goes away. So so I'm interested in this understanding why what is it? It's saying that's right. He wants to extend it to crush the population. I think also, guys, honestly, there is something about them. There's something I think to do with the Federal Reserve. There's something where I think they want to like crush the government, really. And I think for them, that's the benefit. And they keep going. So, but okay, considering that Trump is about, he's really very much about creating harm and destruction. What would make them not like it doesn't make sense? What would make them to come back, if anything? What's going to happen with it? So I see it's interesting. It shows me the airplanes like there have been reports of problems with airplanes because the air traffic controller situation shortage. And it's as we get closer to the holidays, it's going to get to become more of an issue. So okay, so Trump, no, he's refusing for that reason. Then the military again gets upset because people they're not getting paid, the service members, right? I think. I know he said they would, but there is more. A lot of infrastructure is exposed. And I think again, I think I see that guy Vought being like, yeah, great, great, weakening people. And but then I see that as it Trump is celebrating and then suddenly he falls. And I see then it shows me that somebody in the military uniform saying that they were sabotaging the country, they were harming um, the country and letting the country vulnerable for actual attacks. So, okay, so let me ask you. So the cards and spirit, are you saying that Trump will collapse at towards the end of this? Saying yes, towards the end of the shutdown. It's like he's shutting himself down. So tell me about the shutdown. Okay, man. Okay, negative message. Okay, this is happiness. Oh, happiness, a battle. Now, this, guys, in a way, I feel like this card represents the No Kings protest, right? Or us coming together. There's a battle going on. Success. Okay, it's coming together. Going back to where we were before this, man. So, okay. Oh, this is also the women. Interesting. The women deal. I wonder, is the Epstein situation? Could it be? Happiness, people happy. Money. Boy. Yeah, see, ultimately you have a deal. Okay, coffin. Okay, ending behind the scenes, government, law, key, opportunity. So, okay, okay, so let's see. Let's go forward. So to October 20th. Yeah, I see that towards the end of October, he's like celebrating, but then he's shut down. He's like stomped down. So is it going to, okay, he's gonna go into November. So he could resolve by the end of October, but at a cost to Trump, it's saying. It tells me this, Rosie, you have to understand that their goal is to truly annihilate the government so that they can put something else in place. And in order for them to do that, there has to be a state of powerlessness. And that's in their minds how they're going to achieve their goal. So they're not motivated to stop it, especially the more hardcore parts of the government. So, and I see, so I have a question. Is the government going to reopen while Trump is in office? I still see this image of the boots, like him crashing, stomping on the floor, and then there's a hole, he falls into it. And it's saying the crushing that he's pursuing and him and his people are pursuing will end up crushing him. So, see, take it easy. Pray for the truth and all of it to come out. Because, and it's interesting that what I see here too, as I ask about the Epstein files being released, that the problem for them is that if the government comes back, they can vote for the Epstein files to be released. And the moment that happens, Trump is out. That's what I feel like. Okay. So that's really interesting. So what is going on in the government? How powerful is Trump really? It's saying that it's saying from his perspective, his power comes from limiting the power of others. And it feels like we're already kind of in the midst of a collapse. We don't know it quite yet, but I see that things are not going to turn out the way he thinks they will. And that he's not that man walking, but does it make sense what I'm saying? Like that he's halfway out already and they just don't know it. Okay. So, all right. So this is it for now. No, I wish I could give you something more concrete, but doesn't make sense in a way. It's a bit abstract to me still. Like I see this and it's like I have to see it. It's not that I have to see it to believe it because I see it in my head, but the government still stands as, officially, but unofficially, it tells me it's hollow from the inside. Because again, their agenda is just destruction and people are affected. And even if they're hearing back from Republicans that their own constituents are protesting and they're losing their jobs, there's a lot of things happening and they can't deal with that. In order for their government to continue, they have to keep saying that, oh, there's no problem. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. But there is a problem. There are a lot of problems. And that's the thing that will take them down. Ultimately, I mean, it's the truth about Trump, but also the fact that they are just working to harm the country. So, that's the message. Okay. And it's saying this, Rosie, just for everybody, keep up with the spirit of the No Kings protest. And also the fact that they are digging their own graves here. Okay. In terms of the length of their administration. Okay, much longer they'll be in power. Okay, all right. So thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing, Sphere. All right. So, and I see again more dramatic events starting next week. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna stop and I'll see you soon.